Let me record.
Okay. Welcome to this presentation. I was working on a project on a new one, which is on Web3. Apart from working the previous project I did on Web2, now this time I was venturing on a new field on Web3, especially when I'm coming up with a new idea on ALX Blockchain Token. Now, basically, the ALX is a new token being created on the Ethereum blockchain, specifically on the Sepolia testnet. The purpose of this token is to serve as a means of exchange within the particular project or community, especially the ALX. As an Ethereum token, ALX is based on ERC20 standard, which provides a set of rules and requirements for tokens on the Ethereum network. These standards allows for easy integration with other Ethereum-based applications and services, making it possible to use ALX in a variety of contexts. So, being on the Sepolia test network means that the ALX is not yet alive on the Ethereum network, but rather in the testing phase. This allows, for example, for developers and the shareholders to test the token functionality and ensure that it works on an as intended before launching it on the main net, which is the Ethereum mainnet. Overall, the creation of the ALX represents an effort to develop a new token-based economy that can be used with a specific project or community on the Ethereum network. As the project evolves and matures, the hope is that ALX will become a valuable, widely used asset within this ecosystem. Basically, when I was developing this project, I was thinking about the ALX as a program that is just not concentrated on a specific country, but is breaking boundaries and its employees keeps on adding up from different countries in terms of representation. So I was thinking of creating a token which can act as a wallet that they can use, especially in enhancing the payment process of the different employees that they have within the different countries that are existing here in Africa. So my learning objectives on development of this ALX blockchain token was to develop a token on Ethereum, and this one requires a strong understanding of the EVM Ethereum network and the programming languages such as Solidity, which is basically a new language not being learned on the ALX stacks, but I was venturing into it as coming in having the background of JavaScript and having background on the back-end creation. Now, creation of token, I wanted also to understand the fintech operations in terms of tokens, where creation of tokens require deep understanding of economics and finance, specifically around how tokens are used within the networks and ecosystem to create blockchain applications. Under system architecture, under the first part, we have the smart contract suite, where we have the Etherscans that provide the real-time data on the transactions that take place within the chain. We have the Web3, which allows the interaction of blockchain nodes through HTTPS. Then we have an application called Trafo, which provides the tools and utilities that's specifically designed for building decentralized application. And basically, Trafo is what is being used in deployment. In interaction, in provision of API and nodes, we have Alchemy, which is a publicly accessible node that provides the API for connecting to the Ethereum network. And then we have MetaMask, which allows for the decentralized application to connect to the blockchain service. On the backend server side, we have the Ethereum, which is that's the overall EVM network that provides the platform through which the decentralized applications can work through. Then on the local machine, I'm using Node.js, which is a powerful runtime environment that provides a range of tools, libraries that can be used in building the decentralized application and the Ethereum blockchain. Now, Node.js is being used here as a server-side runtime environment for building the decentralized application on the Ethereum blockchain. Technologies that have been used, we have Ethereum blockchain, Solidity, Web3.js, Truffle Suite, Open Zeppelin, which is a library, the Remix IDE, and Ganache, which is used for testing on the local network. Third-party services, we have Infura, the Etherscan, MetaMask, and Alchemy. So this is a representation of how the token deployment takes place, especially in the IDE that I was using, especially in deployment. What you can see is the representation of folders. I'm going to show you this more on the IDE. On the representation of the coin, in the creation of the coin, this is the name of the coin as the ALX token, which is at the start of the beginning of the token is at it can be created with more values, but for now I decided to place it at 1 million, which is the starting coin before it becomes distributed to other addresses that are available if in case payment is being done. Trello board was used here as to map different entities of this development. That is the link that is provided for the blockchain project on GitHub. Now, on successes that I got from this program, I got to learn more about Web3 development. I've got to learn more about Solidity, Truffle, Ganache, and Sepolia testnet. I've got to learn more about JavaScript, especially in its application to Web3. I've got to learn more about connection and communicating with the API nodes connecting to MetaMask. And the deployment was successful. So challenges, there were technical complexity, in fact, in developing a token on Ethereum, which requires a strong understanding on Ethereum network programming languages such as Solidity and related tools and technologies. And sometimes as a beginner, you find that it is very challenging to grasp the all of these concepts to combine them so that you can be able to do the deployment and be able to create your tokens very much efficiently. So before I end that, I would like to go to the IDE and show you whatever I have done. Now, this is Atom IDE. Whatever I have created here is representation of the different folders that are being used here. These folders are first created by Truffle. Truffle is an application that enables you to be able to create this. So we have a command called Truffle unbox, which basically forms part of the initialization of the application. Once it has been created is when now you can go inside Truffle and inside the folder called contracts, you create a Solidity contract. So if you look at this contract, we have the Solidity contracts uses the library. We are using the library Open Zeppelin contracts for safe math, which is for enabling calculations. We are enabling the import of Open Zeppelin on Enable that enables us to be able to mint tokens if in case there is the tokens that we have created are burnt out. Whereas you can see from that diagram, the tokens that I've created are around 1 million. If suppose we do transactions and all the 1 million are used, we can be able to at least do the minting of the token. So the contract here, we have the contract name as ALX token, and this is the representation of the token. And basically, because as per now we are working with fungible tokens, most of the blockchain uses there are tokens that are highlighted into a decimal of decimals having 18 decimals, I mean. So this contract here has the functions transfer that enables you to be able to transfer tokens, function approve if in case you are doing token transfer, you can be able to approve. Function transfer from, you enter different wallets if in case you are transferring from one wallet to another, and then function mint, which enables you as an administrator of this token to be able to at least approve more token that can be used in the transaction if in case they are burnt out. So out of this, the other technology that is also being used here is the Alchemy. This is Alchemy dashboard, and this Alchemy dashboard provides me with the API. And this API, for example, here I have an Alchemy app called ALX app, which provides me with the different keys, API keys, and the HTTP for me to be able to communicate with the token that I have created. So once the deployment has been done successfully on the Ethereum network, you'll find that we have an application here called MetaMask. Now, the Ethereum here shows you the MetaMask. I'm using the Sepolia testnet. The Sepolia testnet you are being given some Ether so that at least you can be able to use in deployment of your contract and create tokens within the Ethereum platform. So whatever I created as per now is represented here. It has the 1 million tokens, and you can be able to send and buy from an address that is if suppose this was launched on Ethereum mainnet. For now, we are using the Sepolia testnet that enables you to be able to deploy and test your contract if it is functioning correctly. The API also takes accountability on the different requests that are being done on the network. The other thing is about whenever you want to do the deployment, you have what is called the Sepolia faucets that gives you the test ethers that are being used. As per now, 49 minutes ago, I had got the Sepolia testnet. If I click on the contract that I have done, we have the ether scan. The ether scan enables you to be able to at least find more details on the contract. More like log information. Now, in interaction with the contract, I created an index.js framework, and this framework here, this is just but a representation of the back end that allows me to get accounts if in case I've created ones in the network. At the top here, I have highlighted the different requirements that are needed for the interaction of the contract. I can be able to get balance of the Ether Sepolia address, and I can be able to at least connect to the Alchemy. The connection to the Alchemy is done at this point here. So when I run, for example, because I'm working on Node, when I run the code like node index.js, I can be able to at least get the balance of the Sepolia network. Now, to interact with the token that I had deployed, which is the ALX token, I had created a contract.js, which allows me to be able to at least take the Alchemy API, and from that Alchemy API, I'm going to get the contract ABI contract ABI is like the details represented here in the contract ALX.json. And this enables me to at least call different values that are needed within this API. So, and then I enter the token address, which is now like the address of the wallet, and then the address of the contract where it has been deployed, which is the Sepolia net. And from here, I can be able to at least interact with it by getting the balance of that token. So if I run, for example, node contract.js, I'm able to get the balance of the contract. The balance represented here is the Sepolia testnet. I was showing you that there is a connection to the Sepolia testnet, and then the balance of the wallet address represented here, like the way it is being taken with the 18 decimals that we had highlighted. So whenever you want to do transaction, you find that this is a fungible token. It can be divided into different categories that can be shared within an ecosystem. So basically, that was what my project was about in terms of looking at the backend application in developing developing a fungible token on the Ethereum platform. This fungible token is now not represented, which is forming part of what I can say a challenge, represented into a front-end network where users can be able to interact with it, which is forming part of whatever I intend to do. I intend to form for it a front-end network, having anybody who can, for example, help me information of the front-end development, especially when it comes to front-end development. I was more focused on the back end, looking at the interaction of the different tokens, especially when you want to do transfer, and can you be able to at least pay it or transfer from one wallet to another. So that's all about my my presentation on the ALX blockchain token. Thank you.
Awesome. So yeah, I feel like it's a well thought out project. And before I say anything, I'd want if there's a question from the audience for them to ask. So is there a question from the audience about this project? Inquiry, anything you'd want to learn from Boston? You're open to like comments now.
Okay. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, Boston. I have a question.
Yes.
Ogidi, your mic is kind of far. I don't know, you're far from your mic. I can't hear you clearly.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, better.
All right. I'm asking if currently, I think your listening is running on the test.
Hello, I'm still not getting you clearly.
Wow. Can you hear me now?
Okay.
All right. You said that it's running on a test network. If you want to push it to the Ethereum network, like what are the extra things you need to do? Do you need to pay? Like, can you just throw no light on that? Like, what would you need to do to push it on the Ethereum network?
Now, for you to be able to at least push the token into the Ethereum network, it means that we have to like buy some ETH on the mainnet, so that we can be able to at least have the opportunity to deploy our token on the Ethereum network. And that one means that when you are now deploying on the Ethereum network, you can see here on the Trafo config file, I have indicated two things. One, I have the Sepolia testnet, which is I'm using for deployment, and I have the mainnet. For me to be able to deploy on the mainnet, it means that I have to have some test. I must have real ETH. This is now real transaction. This is not now testing net. this is now a real transaction where you kind of buy some ETH so that you can be enabled, they can enable you to deploy your token to be able to be running on the Ethereum chain.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that means if you buy the Ethereum, are they the ones that will automatically assign the value of your ALX coin, or is it you that will the one that will assign it automatically?
So when you buy the Ethereum and then you have the start value that you are giving your token, like here I have given it a transaction of 1 million. Normally when the value of the token is got, for example, when you have like a pre-sale where people get to buy the tokens and then they will use them in transactions. So from there is when your token will start gaining value, much like you have created other things like, for example, which coin is existing. We have the Binance coin and any other coin that is also existing on the Ethereum chain. Yeah.
All right. Thank you very much.
So any other question? Okay, I'll take that as no more questions for Boston. So Boston, I really love the fact that you challenged yourself to learn what you wanted to learn. Do you want to branch into Web3?
What I wanted to learn here, I was testing this framework for Web3, and at the same time I was looking at testing my knowledge that I have learned in ALX, especially in my specialization, that is the backend platform. So somehow I can proceed and then look at Web3 as also part of my stack in terms of backend development.
Awesome. Because you know the most important thing is not a stack. The most important thing is the problem-solving skills that you've learned along the way. And yeah, I feel like you've portrayed your like eagerness to learn new technologies and actually implement a project that you can showcase as far as selling yourself in the Web3 community is concerned. So good job on that.
Thank you.
Yeah. Other than that, I think, as you said, you need to find someone who can create a front end for your project. Maybe you can also challenge yourself to do that. You know, it's not as difficult now that you have the skills as a software engineer. You can just decide to go all in and learn like how to create a front end for your project.
Yeah, I can say that I was working on that using React or React.js and especially Next.js, but it was still not giving me the output correctly.
Yeah, it's all about breaking things till you figure them out. That's how you learn. But yeah, that's awesome. Other than that, yeah, so I have sent a correction to your project,
Okay.
and I wish you the best in your software engineering journey going forward.
Okay.
Yeah, I hope I will witness the ALX coin being launched in the blockchain somewhere in the future.
I also wish so that at least we can have our own coin as our own ecosystem as ALX.
Awesome.
Yes.
So yeah, I think you can have a good rest of your day. Your scores will reflect, and yeah, I've already like sent the correction.
Okay, thank you.
Good day, everyone.
Good day to you too.
Thank you.